what's up you guys? Kat from Old Reading Farm. Thanks for joining me today. So in today's video, you're going to be stuck with me. I have a day off from my new job and I've got a lot of things that I want to get done, so I'm going to do them with you. So the very first, most important thing is I'm going to plant ranunculus. I got ranunculus corms. Let me show you. So I got these from Wholesale for the Small Scale Grower on Facebook. You can see that some of them, I'm sure due to my mistakes, got moldy and nasty, so that's trash. Nothing's going to grow from that. But I would say the vast majority of them have turned into these little rooted and growing things. So these grow early and they're gorgeous. They're a little bit fussy, so because they need to grow so early, if you have a frost night, you need to cover them with frost cloth. We're going to get them into the ground together. I'm going to heavily amend my soil with alpaca poop, which is in this cart right here, because they're heavy feeders, and let's be honest, I'm probably too lazy, busy to fertilize them. So we're going to do that. The other things that we're going to do in today's video, we have chicks coming, so I need to do a big shuffling of chickens, and I'll maybe take you to say hi to the alpacas because I feel like you haven't seen them in a while. But if you want to see more of them, follow us on Instagram because I post about the alpacas on Instagram every single day. Okay, so let's get started on ranunculus. Okay, so I've got my alpaca all spread out. I'm going to put a clip up on the screen of what these ranunculus corms used to look like, because they come in the mail and you're like, oh my god, nothing is ever going to grow from this like weird shrunken little loser. And then what you do, how you grow them, is you soak them in water for up to 4 hours, and when you're doing that, you want to make sure that the water doesn't get stagnant because that will encourage the mold growth. And then you take them out of the water and you put them in soil, damp soil. You leave them in the soil for 2 weeks, and in that 2 weeks they will grow the roots and those little green buds, and then you plant them out. So that's the process. We started them around the 1st of March and today's the 18th of March. So I think I'm a little bit behind, but like, what else is new? So here's them with their little roots, looking super good for the most part. And I think what I did wrong was I think I let some of them, like around the edges, get too dry. I don't think this one got enough water. Can you see that? Okay, so I think the ones around the edges got too dry, and then I think some of the ones in the middle got too wet. So this is like one that got too wet, so it just rotted. It turned to mush. Okay, so now I'm just gonna tuck these into the ground.
Oh, this is the life. If only I had a nice beverage, you know, put the wife to work and just relax. It's nice. Dirt.
Soil, John.
Soil.
And so the reason we're doing this is because A, it's partially to like mark out where I've just put these ranunculus, because once I put down the alpaca poop, which has got like some hay mixed in, then those ranunculus corms look like identical to the alpaca poop with hay. So I was like, So bad soil is going to help us know where they are to keep them watered, and then also it'll help keep the soil more moist because we're working on our soil quality, but we want to make sure that these don't like dry out and shrivel back up in between waters. Got the big guy with me.
That's why she's small.
So I'm gonna take everybody over to the chickens, and we're gonna look at the chickens that came off the porch brooder and went into their respective breeding pens. Okay, so it's a new day. Yesterday didn't entirely go according to plan. We planted the ranunculus together, and then John and I started to go look at the chicken village. We got a little distracted. One thing led to another. The next thing you know, it's tomorrow. So what we're gonna do today, oh look, all the alpacas are gonna come over. I have been dying to grow some grass in these pastures for these girls to eat. Oh, Macy! Was that Macy? I couldn't quite tell. Okay, so we're gonna go seed some grass together, and I will tell you some things about the alpacas. So this is what this seed looks like. It is called Kentucky 31 Tall Fescue and Orchard Mixture Lawn and Field Seed. Okay, so I think my plan is going to be to hit some of my less traveled areas. Like I'm going to run along this fence line and around back where they don't spend a ton of time. And I'm probably going to have an audience the whole time besides y'all. And then I'll cover it with some of our hay. And I'll see if I can get John to set up a sprinkler over here for me. Because, so, what we had been talking about is getting this whole pasture empty of alpacas, reseeding the whole thing and letting it grow in. But patience and whatnot, I think maybe what's better is if we just seed it and like let it get started. Brownie, don't eat this. Hi. This is mine. Have a kiss? Okay, so I'm just gonna start seeding. I've got like I think it's like a 60-pound bag. It's a really big bag, so I'm just gonna start seeding. So let's do this. This is kind of the big bulk of our area. All that's already down on the ground is hay, because what we've been doing is moving those big hay feeders around. So every time they're empty and we're going to put a fresh hay bale, we take that hay feeder and move it somewhere else to try to help and like build the soil, because they dropped some hay, so then we move to a different place, and any seed or whatever that was in the hay will now, we're hoping, is going to hit the soil and eventually grow on its own. So that's what we've been doing, and there's already, you know, some cover, so it's not just bare soil. So I think grass will grow pretty easily here. So I'm going to seed this area. So I'm in with the boys now. One other thing that we have coming up that's going to be really exciting, we're in March right now. I believe in May we're going to do our planned breedings. So what John and I did is we took a list of all of our ladies and we said like who we would ideally like to breed. And we didn't talk about it. We did this activity separately, and then we came back together and we compared notes. So ladies who were on both of our lists is like, yes, we would really like to see a baby from her. We went into that like that's a positivity breeding gonna happen, like we're excited about it. And then if there was somebody on my list who wasn't on John's list, I like sort of made the case for her. And believe it or not, there actually were a few alpacas who were on John's list who weren't on my list. So he tried to convince me, and I said like why I didn't necessarily include them. We talked about how many babies we wanted to have and like what we were sort of prepared to cover vet bill wise in case anything went wrong. So we like made all those decisions, and we have a breeding plan that we'll probably be sharing with you at a future video. So I will tell you, since we're in boy world right now. So these are our 6 boys right now. We have 3 adults in front. This is Carl. In the middle, the white boy, is Cody, and then in the back is Monarch. So Cody, the boy, he is neutered. He is unable to have babies. So for our adult males, our choices were Carl or Monarch. And originally Monarch was going to be our guy until we got Carl. The reason we're going to go with Carl instead of Monarch is because two reasons. One, we really like his body. We like his fiber. We think his fiber is really well organized and nice. We like his body type. He's got good conformation, they call it. So like, you know, he doesn't have buckling legs or anything like that, things that can happen with alpacas sometimes. But the thing that's most important to us is we really like his personality. Monarch in the back was kind of a bully when he was in charge. Carl is just like a very calm, cool, collected dude. He gets excited at breakfast time. Hi, man. But the other thing is he's been really good with the babies. So it's been a while since you've seen Felix. Felix is looking like a dirty, filthy potato right now. And then these are the two little dudes that we got to be friends with Felix. So the one who wears the collar. Are you protecting them? Okay, see here the two little dudes. The one who wears the collar is Waffle, and then the one who just stood up in the back is Winston. We're going to do all of our breedings this year with Carl, because then it will be really easy for us to track who's related to who. Because then if next year, if we want one of the littles are grown up, if we want to switch to one of them, we would know that nobody will be related to anybody, which is sort of nice. So not that we wouldn't really be able to track like who's related to who, but it'll make it a lot easier, because we'll know every baby that was born in the year 2023 we're talking about, because alpacas stay pregnant for 11 months. So any baby born in 2023 will be Carl's offspring. So then in the 2023 season, if we want to breed somebody and we choose a different herd sire, then we would know that in 2024, all of the offspring would be related to whoever we choose. And then there will be no possibility of us having inbreeding happening, because we'll be able to like really easily, without even thinking like this is not the offspring of that alpaca. So that's our plan. I'm gonna seed in here. So there never was grass over here. When we first got this house, I guess they weren't really like taking care of the lawn, obviously, very well, since it was empty for 8 years. So leaves had pretty much been left in place back here and had kind of smothered all of the grass. So I'm just gonna do a quick seed here. The alpacas spend most of their time in that area that we were just talking in. And then there is another area over there where I'm gonna seed. They hardly go over there, but that'll be good because it'll really let the seed get established. All right, John, where am I allowed to seed?
Is that all right? So everything like basically past this
From this stump towards the wall?
Wherever you want that way.
Okie dokie. This is going to be scintillating content, watching me throw grass seed around.
It's farm SMR.
Oh, farm SMR. You want some? So, the last thing that we're going to talk about, I had to take a seat for. You can see it right back there, over my shoulder. There is a house going up. So, on one side of our property, there was 60 acres. It was purchased by a developer. We were here first. Everything that we're doing is on the up and up, right? We're registered as a farm with the state. We're registered as a farm with the town. We're within our zoning regulations to have every single building that we've built. We learned at our last property that if you build a building without permits and then put it on the internet, people are going to see it, right? So everything that we're doing is on the up and up. We have a permit for every inch of buildings that we have. The thing is even being fully permitted, you can still have problems with neighbors, right? So that development is going to be 17 houses. They're going to all sell for like $850,000 plus, which is 3x what we spent for our house, right? So that's like a little intimidating. And the thing about that development is the owner donated, I guess I could say this is all allegedly, this is all in my opinion, but some of it is fact, you can look it up. And we talked to the zoning office about it. So the owner donated a big chunk of that property to the town's open space. Because of that, they were given a variance of their setbacks. So the stone wall that you can see is the property line. That house is 15 feet from the property line. So our closest barn, building, chicken coop, anything has to be more than 100 feet away. So to play it safe, we're more than 110 feet away. And they're 12. So it's like, it's a little intense. And I'm a little bit worried about it because we have a new friend. John's dancing. We have a new friend, hi Hunter. He lives in New Jersey, and he has frivolous lawsuits problems happening from his neighbors because he's in a residential area, but he's zoned a farm. He has permits for everything he does. He's doing everything by the books, and he's still getting these lawsuits. So like the amount of time since we had that conversation that I've spent worrying about this house is like, you probably wouldn't believe it. So sometimes you're not allowed to have roosters. That's not the case in our town. You can hear them behind me. It's just like, it's intense. I'm concerned about it. So, on that heavy note, you want to see John dance?
It was a heavy note?
Yeah, I talked about that house.
Does this make you feel better?
Yes, it does. So we've seeded, we've planted ranunculus, we've hung out with the alpacas, we've talked about our breeding program, and we've talked about some of my anxiety. If you liked this video, leave a comment if you want me to make more videos with me instead of your usual host, John. Tell me that in the comments because I'm insecure. And otherwise, John will be back with your regularly scheduled programming on Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye.